So Elon Musk this morning tweets out about a Ukraine peace arrangement. Ukraine-Russia peace. And he outlines these four things, right? Redo elections of the annexed regions under UN supervision. Russia leaves if that is the will of the people. Sounds fair enough, give the people will. UN supervision means Russia's not hacking the election. We know that's a big scare. Secondly, Crimea is formally part of Russia, as it has been since 1783. Crimea is currently a part of Russia. It was a part of Ukraine for a small amount of time. There's debate over whether they want to be Russian or whether they want to be Ukrainian. Right now they're Russian. So, they already have them. So he's saying we give that up because it's already been given up. It's not going to change anything. So, water supply to Crimea assured. That's a good thing. They're not getting water. We want them to get water. If you say you don't want Crimea to get water, you're a shitty person. And lastly, Ukraine remains neutral, which they kind of have been for a while. They wanted to enter the UN, They wanted to enter the UN because they don't want to be part of Russia. But Russia does not want them to be part of the UN. And that will anger them more. So this made people very angry. Elon Musk is defending his decision, which 60% of people were saying no to. When I voted yes on this, I was only a 30% minority. It was 70 to 30. So more people now are saying that. But he defends his position by saying this is highly likely going to be the outcome in the end. It's just a question of how many people die before then. All he is doing is giving away to get out of this war quicker. I don't think anyone wants to continue this war. And he's also noting that possible but unlikely outcome from the conflict is nuclear war, which nobody wants. That's horrible for the whole world, and we don't want to go out in nuclear war. Comments to this are pretty hilarious. Paul Mazzarato, who's this guy? Foreign policy guy. Okay. He does foreign policy. Paul Mazzarato does foreign policy. Yet this is what he thinks about this situation. Ukraine liberates all its sovereign territory, including the stuff that Russia has owned for a while now. Russia decolonizes, demilitarizes, and denuclearizes. You really think that's going to happen? Let's flip it the other way. Let's ask the US to decolonize, demilitarize, and denuclearize. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Every Russian is laughing their ass off at this. This will never happen. Putin will never give away his nukes. He will never demilitarize. And, you could try to make him decolonize, but I doubt it will happen. He's going to hold the places he has with an iron fist. That's just the sad truth of it all. So we shouldn't keep fighting in Ukraine just because that's happening. We can come to peace and at least, get out of the war and stop people from dying. There's a lot more other things that are ridiculous. Elon, man, it seems like you missed a lot of history lessons. So your proposal sounds much like Putin's. Okay, yeah, so he's trying to come up with a peace offer. It's going to sound a little bit like Putin's peace offer because, Putin's not going to fold. You got to understand that. He's strong. We can't just completely ignore what he says because he's a strong leader that has a large army presence. He's saying, go look at this treaty. This treaty clearly doesn't matter because Russia's attacking Ukraine. I don't know why you would look into that. This dude claims that since Tesla makes cars, he should give them all to Ford. That's a good way of looking about it. Very, very smart, Cesare Tom Schnick. Yeah, very, very smart. Let me remind you, this is the same guy who's paying for all of Ukraine's internet right now, letting them use the Starlink network for free. So, there's that. Elon, who owned your daddy's emerald mine in 17... The hell does that mean? Okay, yeah, so people are saying that Russia should also take back Alaska since they owned Alaska back then. No one lives in Alaska. Like no one really lived in Alaska back then. Even there weren't many Russians back there. They just owned the territory. Um, it's like people are coming up with some ridiculous stuff here. Khrushchev's mistake. Crimea doesn't belong to Russia. It did belong to the Russian Empire. Yeah, it belonged to Ukraine for all of like 20 years. And there are some Crimeans who want it to be Russian held. There are some who want it to be Ukrainian held. It's a very flip floppy. It's a very small community of people there. This dude's saying that the Italians should take back all of Rome, since Elon Musk says that the Russians should probably just keep control of Crimea since they already have control of it, and it's not something we're getting back. But yeah, let's bring back the Roman Empire that ended in a horrible dictatorship. That sounds like a great idea, Meza. Anyways, the biggest one is by Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who was saying, "Which Elon Musk do you like more? The one who supports Ukraine, the one who supports Russia?" And people are saying that he supports Russia. I probably should have voted the one who supports Russia, honestly, because this is kind of fucking stupid. Um, Crypto Jeff, I'm actually friends with this guy. What did he say? One who supports the best possible near-term outcome given the situation, influenced by the probability matrix of mid and long-term potential outcomes arising from said short time frame solution. See, now that is a good healthy response. That is smart. What Jeff here is saying is that he wants to support someone who has a near-term outcome that is beneficial and saves lives, which is kind of what Elon Musk is pointing towards. And I think he's calling out Zelensky here for trying to propagate more war when all Elon is doing is suggesting a way for peace. We got Wario from SNL. I guess is that Zelensky? I don't really know, but whatever. Wario's funny. Gotta love Wario, right? Gotta love Wario. I don't know what that means. I don't know what like spaces. Okay, yeah. So he's spending $80 million in Ukraine. $0 in Russia. So obviously he's pro-Ukraine. This girl likes this man, apparently, which is great. Elon Musk has had some pretty funny responses to some of this. We just go look at them. Oh, so he also said vote in this poll: unlimited games or no bacon, or unlimited games but no games. That doesn't make sense. But I think he meant unlimited games, no bacon, which I would choose unlimited games, no bacon, obviously. So this is very important when you're talking about very, very important, treaties and peace agreements that are being discussed. Would you rather have games or bacon? I would rather have games than bacon. Let me know in the comments what you think. But he's saying, now let's try this. Well, the people who live in the Donbass and Crimea decide whether they're part of Russia or Ukraine, which a lot of people say yes to this. I think that's a great way of going about it. I think Putin would have trouble agreeing with that, and he would keep attacking Ukraine if that type of situation arose. If you could get him to agree with that, that would be great, but that's going to be a difficult feat. What else is he saying? Russia is doing partial immobilization. If they go to full war mobilization, if Crimea is at risk, death on both sides will be devastating. This is true. They are not fully attacking Ukraine. If they did, Ukraine would already be under Russian jurisdiction. Ukraine has 3 times the population of Ukraine, so victory for Ukraine is unlikely in total war. You care about the people in Ukraine. You seek peace. Very great, very great reply to that. He's saying he assumes that I wish to be popular. He doesn't care. All he cares about is that millions of people don't die for an essentially identical outcome. What a good guy, Elon. What else is he saying? Gary Kasparov. This is moral idiocy. Okay, he's trying to save millions of lives. It's not moral idiocy. You're a dumbass. Repetition of the Kremlin propaganda. Yes, Elon is spreading Kremlin propaganda. Portrayal of Ukrainian courage and sacrifice, and puts a few minutes of browsing Crimea on Wikipedia over the current horrific reality of Putin's bloody war. This dude has no idea what's going on over there. Yep, U.S. quietly paying millions to send Starlink terminals. A lot of people are saying that the government's paying for this. Elon responds that a small number of terminals were paid for by the government, a vast were not. So yeah, he still very much supports Ukraine, but he wants to de-escalate. The fact that even the president is not de-escalating shows the situation that's really going on in Ukraine. People will tell you Ukraine is a total democracy, that it is a very liberal republic. It is not. They have marginally better laws than Russia, but not by much. Zelensky is still kind of the heavy hitter of like he's not like a dictator, but he's close. He's kind of close. But yeah, Tesla stock fell $30 today. We're looking at almost a 9% downside. I bought a stock today at like 1:20 Eastern. So yep, good deals going on there. I would recommend picking up on Tesla. They just dropped their Tesla bots, which I'm sure Elon has tweeted about. If we look back a couple days, let's look at some memes real quick. When you smash Arm Day so bad you can't even wash your hair, you feel like a T-Rex, right? There's the boring miners, SpaceX, Giga Berlin. Here they are. Look at that. Here we go. Yep, so they just announced the Tesla bots, which if you look into these are going to be more influential than the iPhone. This thing can do your dishes. This thing could run a retail store. This thing could code for you. You just tell it what to do. This thing could do your laundry. It'll do all your chores around the house. It'll clean. Like, that's the future of these things, is they're going to make your life hundreds of times easier. You're not going to really have to do chores again. And they're robots, so I mean, like, it's not like they're not people. That's the cool thing about it. In addition, whether they do or don't start collecting your data, we'll see. I'm sure if they don't, there'll be a competitor that does. If they do, there'll be a competitor that doesn't. Be looking out for both, the same way that the iPhone is a little more privacy driven than the Android. But either way, the data that comes out of these things is going to be insane, and Tesla's stock is going to go to the moon. Like, to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. But yeah, I'd buy some Tesla stock. The only reason it's down is because people think he's a Russian sympathizer. Story of the day. Be over in a week. People forget he even tweeted about this. I mean, literally look at all the stuff he's tweeting about. He's literally saying how he likes Ukraine and how he wants to save people's lives. We're like, no, we don't want to save people's lives. We want to keep fighting till there's no Ukraine left. Just for their peace. We're going to fight till there's no Ukraine left. Sounds like a great way to go about things. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and vote yes on Elon Musk's peace bill. Better than anything Biden's talked about. I'll tell you that. Have a good one, y'all.